So we're live.
We're live. No, we're not live. We're recording.
No, we're recording.
Hi, it's Fee Mims from Fee Mims Photography, and I'm here with Simone Russell from Yogamona. How did you get that name, Yogamona? Because you're called Mona.
Yeah, it is actually. It's my nickname, so pretty much only new friends and colleagues call me Simone, and pretty much everyone else in my life calls me either Moans or Mona.
Oh, why am I calling you Mona then?
Oh well, it's up to you. But it kind of feels a bit weird that I've named my business after myself or my name.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think that's great because it's a bit different that it's about yoga.
Yeah, and a friend suggested it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect.
That's great. No, I like it. And it's easy to remember, which is good. You want to have an easy to remember business name, don't you?
I think so.
So after all that banter, Simone, she's a yoga person. Actually, Simone is a jack of many trades. Simone teaches yoga, meditation, mindfulness. She's an awesome coach. I might get you to talk about that a little bit more, but just quickly to let you all know, the reason why I pulled Simone in here today for a chat is because she is going to be taking the next masterclass in the studio coming up at the end of this month. Yay! Which I've been very excited about. It's on mindfulness and meditation, if you haven't already seen it pop up on my page. Something I desperately need to include in my life, more of anyway. And yeah, Simone, do you want to tell us a bit about your business and what you do? Because you do quite a few things.
I do.
And then we might talk a little bit more about the workshop and what we're going to do on that day.
Perfect. So yeah, as Fee said, I am a bit of a jack of all trades. My business is all about yoga and mindfulness and also self-love and living a soulful life. I'm a coach, also what I say is a self-love and mindfulness mentor. So I work with a lot of women in my coaching business that are feeling stressed out, overwhelmed with the pressures of day-to-day life. They may also be feeling anxious and perhaps lost a little bit of meaning or seeking perhaps meaning or more purpose in their life. And so some of my clients are yoga teachers and yogis, and many of them are busy mums just trying to keep everything together. And we do a lot of work around self-love, mindfulness, and a lot of the practices or principles also that apply to yoga as well. So that's the part of the business that's coaching. I also run workshops. I'm a Desire Map facilitator. So for anyone familiar with Danielle Laporte and the Desire Map, I'm a licensed facilitator. So I run a number of workshops on setting soulful goals or goals with soul throughout the year. And also some other bits and pieces like self-love retreats, weekend retreats, and I've also just come back.
We can all do with some of those.
Yeah. And I've also come back from Bali just recently. I collaborated with another yoga teacher and we ran a retreat in Bali where I led the workshops and the meditation. So I'm not actually a yoga teacher. A lot of people think I am. I'm a meditation teacher and a coach, but hopefully at some point when I get a chance, I'll also do my yoga teacher training. But I'm a really big fan of yoga, and I guess for me what it has how it's helped me in my own life, so that's really what started me on the journey. The other part of my business,
I was going to say, you sell yoga accessories and clothing though, don't you? Which is that part of the Yogamona brand.
So that's really how my business started. I was practicing yoga and was seeing that everyone was wearing black. As women tend to do too.
Particularly in Melbourne.
Yes, Melbourne in particular, we love our black. And there wasn't a lot of coloured or colourful, really artistic, beautiful yoga wear around at the time. And I think I came out of Shavasana one day and was looking up at the ceiling and thought, oh, maybe one day either I would like my own yoga studio or I would like to start a business to do with yoga. And the idea came for yoga wear. I saw there were quite a lot of brands coming out that offered beautiful, colourful yoga gear, and I felt that it was time perhaps to offer yogis something a little bit different. So I'm really all around women feeling comfortable though in wearing what they want in yoga, colourful gear that expresses themselves a little bit more than black. It's not to say black doesn't have a place.
Black always has a place. Yeah. And actually, I met you at a Beautiful You Inspiration Day. It's the first place we met. I heard Simone talk, and it was an amazing talk. I still remember it to this day. Like, they're all amazing talks in the Beautiful You days, but You also had a few personal things in there that really resonated with me, and we had a chat afterwards and went on from there. And Simone actually did a branding session with me earlier this year and wore a lot of her really cool yoga pants for that session. So if you go to her website, you'll see all the great colours and gear that she sells too.
It's good fun.
But talking about mindfulness and meditation as well, like one of the reasons I am doing these masterclasses is because I just get to meet a lot of great women through my work, and I love being able to, or having an opportunity to share them with my audience. But I also like to think that all the topics are things that resonate with me and my audience and my clients, and that can also be used for photography. And mindfulness and meditation, I mean, I'm sure you used it on your shoot.
I can tell you, I needed it big time.
But you were quite, you know, as everyone is, you were just as nervous about your session.
Absolutely.
And you talked a bit about how you used mindfulness and meditation to help prepare for your shoot. And that's sort of one of the things I want to talk about a little bit on the day of the workshop, that, you know, you can help, you know, prepare for your shoots using these techniques.
Absolutely, yeah. The photo shoot with Fee actually brought up quite a lot of stuff for me personally around, well, you know, do I feel good enough to be taking, you know, having my photos taken today, and, you know, all the usual things like, do I look okay in this outfit, or, you know,
am I going to get the shot?
Yeah, you know, what's my face looking like in this, or my bottom, or, you know, whatever it might be. You know, we all have our own, I guess, inner thoughts. And so mindfulness really was, I called on it quite big, not just during the photo shoot, but also in the lead up, you know, preparing myself so that I wasn't stressed in the car, or as stressed in the car coming to the shoot. I knew I was in good hands, and I knew that Fee would be absolutely making me feel 100% comfortable, but sometimes the mind still wants to, you know, trick us into, I guess, other thoughts, and that leads to different feelings. So mindfulness is something that can help us to notice those thoughts and feelings without necessarily judging them and analysing them. So it just helps to bring down, I think, the stress levels as well. So I definitely used it in my shoot, which I'll talk more about at the workshop in a few weeks.
And I know there's a lot of talk, well, there's obviously a lot of talk over the last few years about mindfulness and meditation. What's your definition of mindfulness when someone asks you? Because I think it's maybe something we all know kind of what mindfulness is, but is there an easy definition that you have for people? Yeah,
look, I think there's a couple of definitions that I really like, and the most simple one that I think that I'm tending to use more and more now is it's awareness. It's just purely being aware, or more aware. The other definition that I like is one by John Kabat-Zinn, who is kind of the guru of mindfulness, introduced it from the east over to the west, and has really been responsible for a lot of the mainstream movement of mindfulness in the West. He says that it's really about you know, being aware in the present moment, on purpose, and non-judgmentally. So that's a really nice definition, and I think as you start to learn more about what mindfulness is and practice it, that definition really makes sense. But in simple terms, it's being in the present moment, it's being aware. So that can be being aware of what you're putting into your mouth and your body when you're eating. It might be being present in a conversation. It might be being aware and present in the shower and really feeling the water on your skin. You know, it can be applied to lots of different situations. So it's definitely what I would say is my number one tool for living well. I got to photograph the National Family Law Conference a couple of weeks ago, and I think I mentioned to you I heard a mindfulness expert talk there. Dr. Craig Hassad. So from Monash. And he talked a lot about that, just being present, and how when we're at work, he was speaking to a room full of lawyers that are obviously very busy, but we can all relate to it. You know, we're often typing an email, we'll answer the phone, we'll still type the email, someone will walk in, we'll be talking to them at the same time, and we're doing so much in our days, and I know I suffer from this a lot. You're never really fully focusing on that one thing, are you? No, and a lot of people that may be experiencing anxiety or even depression, like when you're in the present moment, when you're practicing mindfulness, there is no past or future. You know, often when we're anxious, we're worried about perhaps what might happen or what could happen. When we're feeling down and flat, it might be because we're ruminating on the past, and when we're in the present moment, those two things, the past and the present, don't exist. There is just that present moment, and so there's no doubt in my mind that that's why it's having such an impact on people's health and well-being and happiness. So.
And as a mum of kids, and we've talked about this before, kids have got great mindfulness,
Yes,
haven't they?
yes. We're born mindful, really. We
Yeah,
are
what
born
happens?
pure awareness. Well, our minds start to get filled with different beliefs and different stories, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in the workshop.
Yeah, we don't want to give too much away during this interview. You have to come to the workshop to get all the inside info. But do you have, because mindfulness is something sort of that came to you a few years back, do you view your life as pre-mindful and post-mindful? Like, is it that, like, what have you felt the benefits have been, and do you see a real distinction in the way you live now?
Definitely. I feel like I was probably practicing mindfulness and becoming more aware through, I saw a therapist for a number of years for different reasons, and that helped to also increase my awareness.
Yeah.
So that can be another way to actually increase your awareness as well. So I think it was always there, and my yoga practice definitely, that is another means of increasing your awareness in the present moment. And then I had a really interesting meditation experience, which Fee, you know about, which is a whole other story for another day. But that was a really clear moment where I experienced a shift in my awareness and my, what I call consciousness, which is essentially, awareness as well. So that was just over 3 years ago. That was a very big shift for me. I had experienced moments of quite pure awareness and moments of really feeling present and being in the present moment, where you might also feel like that word flow. You might feel like you're in flow, like you're really feeling connected, everything's flowing, you're really present at each moment. But it's really hard to maintain that, every single waking moment of the day. But I would say definitely about 3.5 years ago, there was a fairly distinct change for me. But most people find that it builds and it builds and it builds over time with practice.
We one of the biggest struggles I suppose I have is we very luckily as a family were able to get a house about an hour out of town in a place near Wood End, and we spend as much time as possible as a family up there, and it's there's no internet, there's very dodgy phone reception, it's very basic, and it's just about hanging out together and being outside. And I find that when I'm there, I feel like I can be quite mindful, but of course when I come back into town and back to work, everything goes out the window. And part of that is just being busy, but I suppose one of the things you're going to be talking about a lot on the day is how to achieve that in our crazy lives.
Absolutely. And I think it's one of the reasons mindfulness is becoming bigger and bigger, because our lives are getting busier. And so not only is the research behind mindfulness becoming more and more prevalent and supporting how amazing it is, but everyone's getting so much busier. And so the need, I think, for people to find something that works. And in most cases something that's free once you know how to practice it. It's something you can draw on every single day in those tricky moments when you're stressed in traffic or when you're running late for work. And I think that it's something that does take some practice and some effort and a desire to have a change in your life, but it's something that's really practical and something that's absolutely can just ease straight into your day-to-day. And it might be just starting something really small, like being more mindful in the shower, but we'll talk about lots of different tips about how to just start to introduce some of the concepts of mindfulness in the workshop. And then meditation's obviously a slightly different topic in a sense.
Is it a mindfulness technique?
Yeah, so meditation is simply the formal practice of mindfulness. So meditation is really, I'm going to set aside time to sit and just be, or to lie and just be, but for most people they will sit. And we can also, in the workshop, we'll be talking a little bit about some of the myths about meditation as well. It's not something you have to be in a full cross-legged position, sitting on your meditation mat.
Which is really hard.
Particularly as you get older. It's not something you need to do for hours on end. But that sort of, I guess, protected time to sit and just be is also really, really important. And again, it helps to build on this concept of mindfulness and also to be more aware in your day-to-day. And it can totally shift your day if you're having a consistent meditation practice. So.
And we were both talking before this interview that we're both having tough days at the moment, aren't we?
Busy.
Life is great, but days are tough, and you need something to pull you out of those days, don't you?
Yes. And for me, you know, mindfulness is also, I guess, the one thing I love about it is it's actually just sitting and acknowledging where you're at and how you feel. And so for a lot of people that's really foreign, you know, they've never actually sat and become connected to themselves, their feelings, their body, their thoughts. And sometimes that can be uncomfortable, and so having someone to guide you through what it involves, it really is that just noticing, how am I feeling right now? What are the sensations I'm feeling in my body? You know, what's the temperature of the room, or whatever it might be in what process you do, and just sitting with it and not judging it, because so often we then go and judge the feeling, or we judge the thought and we beat ourselves up, or we judge that other person that we think may have done us wrong, and that's what really leads to the suffering, I think. So it's a beautiful practice that just, it starts to change your relationships, not only with yourself but also with others around you as well.
Yeah, and I think what I love most about mindfulness is that it's just making you experience life.
Yes.
Even if you're not doing anything, you know, because we think we're living by doing all this stuff, and we really sometimes just need to stop and do nothing, and that is like the most beautiful gift of all, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And mindfulness is, it's a practice, but it's actually a way of being as opposed to a doing. And so when people say, and I think for you know, this is something you're keen to learn more about, is, you know, is it going to be another thing that I add to my to-do list? Well, yes, it takes a little bit of thinking about how to incorporate the strategies, but once you manage to, you know, I guess smoothly intertwine them in your day, actually you create more space. And it kind of feels hard maybe for someone that doesn't practice mindfulness to understand, but both meditation and mindfulness practice creates more space. So it's almost like it warps time, and you just think, oh wow, like I actually feel like I've got more time in my busy day than before. And so there's a great saying that they say, you know, if you can't meditate for 20 minutes a day, and you know you're super busy, then you should meditate for an hour a day. So I really like it. It's like it is. It's like, you know, even if you're just starting with 5 minutes of practicing just being, or you're going to use some of the mindfulness strategies in your day-to-day activities. So we'll be covering lots in the workshop.
I can't wait.
It'll be good fun.
So who's the workshop for?
Look, I think anyone can benefit from mindfulness. Absolutely anyone. I think particularly though, women and men that are living really busy lives, people that are feeling overwhelmed, people that are perhaps feeling stressed, and that may show up as overwhelm, or it may show up even as some mild or moderate anxiety in your day. You know, people that perhaps are trying to seek some meaning in their life as well, because I think it does bring you back to yourself, and it can also be a practice that helps to increase your creativity as well. So I think really anyone, but I'd say, you know, people that are interested, perhaps you've heard a little bit about mindfulness and you're keen to just dip your toe in the water. Perhaps you're a bit worried about the busy Christmas season and how everything's going to get done.
Or just starting off the new year in a really nice...
Absolutely.
You know, I always find, I think my husband poo-poos New Year's resolutions a little bit, because he just decides to do something and does it, but I like that start of the year as a
starting fresh,
set some gols, so it'd be nice to start the year off.
And I think too, obviously anyone that's got a photo shoot booked in with me that's feeling that might be feeling nervous about it. I think, you know, that's also if you're sitting here thinking, oh, okay, I didn't know that I could use it, you know, during a photo shoot, or that it might help me with my shoot. You know, if you've got a photo shoot booked and you're feeling a little nervous, and you'll also benefit from it as well. But I think pretty much anyone I think would be great to see come along.
Great. So Sunday the 27th of November, 1 till 4, so you can get your busy weekend out of the way. Start the
coming week fresh.
Yes, and start the coming week fresh. 3 hours in the studio. Lots of tips, lots of tricks, lots
some
of
practical
knowledge.
elements.
I can't
We'll be having a bit of fun.
Can't wait. So we'll put the details below. Where you can find Simone is also yogamona.com.au. Anything else we should say?
I think that's it. We can't wait. So it's going to be a really fun afternoon. So we just hope that you'll come along and join us.
See you there.
Bye.